very bottom of her vision she saw it. A yellow hat.
No, it's her.
The knob twisted and shook violently, over and over.
Stop! Stop! Open the door! Open the door!
The doorknob shook harder, faster.
Open the door! Open the door!
And then, the door began to move. The chain lock held. Only a small gap remained. Through it, a hand slid inside. It was a late winter night, just before New Year's. Mika had finished closing the shop and was hurrying home. The air was freezing, every breath spilling out in a white mist.
Snow, it's starting to fall. God, it's cold.
Beside her stretched a wide 4-lane road, empty at this hour. At first, Mika thought she'd be the only soul out tonight. But then, she saw someone coming toward her.
At this time of night? Who would be out here?
She expected a drunken man, maybe a tired bar hostess. But what approached her was neither. It was a small girl, a child wearing a yellow school hat, bouncing forward with a cheerful little hop.
A schoolgirl at this hour?
The brim of the yellow hat hid her eyes, but Mika could see the curve of a smile tugging at her lips. The girl never looked at Mika, never even turned her head, just kept hopping happily along. They passed each other. And then, Mika froze, and in pint, the girl was gone. She had vanished completely. No sound of footsteps, no trace on the snow. And in that instant, a white van spun out of control, skidding on the snow before smashing against the rail. Mika rushed forward, rude. Through the cracked windshield, the driver's face was a mask of blood, stunned and trembling.
Where's the child? That kid. She ran out into the road.
There's no one here. I didn't see.
But she remembered. The little girl, hopping past her in the dark, smiling under that yellow hat. That night, even after Mika returned home, her unease wouldn't fade. She soaked in a hot bath, curled beneath the covers, but the image of the smiling girl in the yellow hat haunted her mind.
Stop it. Just sleep. Forget it.
But just as her eyes grew heavy, she glanced at the clock.
Who the hell would come at this hour?
3 a.m. Exactly 3. Her skin crawled.
No.
The doorbell rang again.
Who's there?
Her heart hammered. She crept to the door, barefoot, careful not to make a sound. Slowly, she pressed her eye to the peephole. At first, no one. But then, at the very bottom of her vision, she saw it. A yellow hat.
No, it's her.
The knob twisted and shook violently, over and over.
Stop! Stop! Open the door! Open the door!
The doorknob shook harder, faster.
Open the door! Open the door!
And then, the door began to move. The chain lock held. Only a small gap remained. Through it, a hand slid inside. Small, pale, stretching toward Mika.
Come on, open it! Open it now! Please stop!
The voice warped. No longer a child, but a man's voice, deep and cruel. And then silence. After the door slammed, Mika dared a glance through the peephole. The hallway was empty. She let out a sigh of relief.
Finally, it's over!
But then a soft sigh behind her. Mika slowly turned. A small hand gripped her pants.
What? Who's there?
She looked down. The yellow hat was torn, filthy, blackened with grime. Her skin wasn't alive, pale, rotting. Half her nose was gone, lips purple and veined with red. One leg missing. And at her feet, a puddle of dark blood.
No, this can't be real.
The memory of the accident came flooding back. By the bent guardrail, flowers, toys, and a small memorial for the driver hit by a motorbike. And there across the path, the half-transparent girl in the yellow hat hopping slowly. It wasn't a cheerful skip. It was dragging, uneven. She had lost her leg.
Danger!
And then, silence. Mika's memory fades. She doesn't recall what happened after, only that the girl was still there. The next day, Mika returned to the accident site. Everything made sense now. The white van's crushed guardrail, the flowers, the toys, the memorials. The girl had never truly left this world. And Mika knew that some encounters don't end.
Never end.
Curious what happens next? Don't miss the next chapter of Mika's story. Subscribe now and help us reach 100 subscribers this month. Be part of the first 100 to uncover the mystery.